as he spawns in the lower left position, playing for Team EC Visualize. It is PbNoRe, the red Terran.
And in the top right position, it is our yellow Zerg player, HyDrA. Right, up one game, and of course, wanting to win this game as well, because that will give him a second chance at a match at which, or from which he can advance to the second group stage.
Yeah, HyDrA so far making his team, the Russian universe of Warhammer, proud. And, well, this map, I wouldn't actually mind the command center first on this map. There's very little that the Zerg player can do. Unless you open with a very quick pull, I'd say that you're going to be fine if you go for a command center first, even if you started on the high ground, which is, of course, preferable. But PbNoRe probably not going to go that way. Just waiting for his 150 minerals so he can start building those barracks. There we go. But I really do expect HyDrA to go with a HyDrA first instead of a pool.
HyDrA is actually the only player from Portugal in the Dutch StarCraft League right now. And he is 21 years old, for those wondering. So yes, he is at university studying informatics, I believe. But is able to combine that with playing StarCraft at this level, which I commend him for. It's pretty difficult to do. There's actually not that many players at a very high level. I'm not saying that this is the highest of levels, of course, but as you get higher and higher, you see less and less players being able to combine playing StarCraft with other activities like education or work.
Yeah, definitely. So, HyDrA so far has not scouted his opponent. He's sending overlords both ways, not relying on drone scouts, which, some players like to cross-position scouts on 4-player maps after their first overlord is done, which means roughly at around 12 to 13 supply, you just send that drone across the map so that you can eliminate certain possibilities. But no, HyDrA is not doing any of that. And he has taken excuse me, he has taken a gas before getting the pool, so this is the greediest of greedy plays that you can do as a Zerg player. Go hatchery first, into a gas, into a pool, which means that you get a reasonably quick link speed. When the pool finishes, you're going to have exactly 100 gas, and then you can pull out your workers either entirely or just leave one in there until you saturate your natural base, and then you remine your gas.
Look at this though. HyDrA's overlord spots a Reaper coming from the base at the bottom right. And apparently HyDrA does realize that this is not because that's where the Terran's base is, but because the Terran was scouting there as well. So now HyDrA, of course, knows where PbNoRe's base is. PbNoRe's Reaper is now moving into the natural expansion. Might actually get a drone. Actually, no, Zergling's popping out. Actually, well, he does get a drone. Oh, great save. You see that? He turned the drone into a spine crawler real quick to save it.
Definitely.
That is cheaper than having it die.
Yeah, that's for sure. And now what you want to do as a Zerg player, obviously, is not venture off creep. You only want to fight on creep. The point of the defense here is not to kill the Reaper, although if you're lucky enough to get that kill, that's good for you, but the point is to keep it out of your base. And in order to do that, look at HyDrA's positioning on the Queens at the edges of the creep to catch that Reaper as soon as it comes in, and then you keep the Lings alive. It's not about trying to kill the Reaper with the Lings, it's about keeping the Lings alive for as long as possible. 20 Lings in production, the Link speed is done. There's no wall off at the natural base and will not be there for the foreseeable time. Hellions, however, are starting to come out. So, this may just be a wasted investment for HyDrA. It will all depend on the defensive skills of his opponent.
Yep, these Lings, of course, will not be able to take out the orbital command because it can always lift if so needed. These Lings will also not make it up the ramp with the Hellions there, but of course it will depend on the control. Oh no, don't bunch up in front of the Hellions there.
Oh, the supply depot cannot go up now. Okay, now it can. Now it can't. But regardless, the Lings will have been cleared out, and this was just not very well done by HyDrA. No, although I have to say that PbNoRe has, well, no, actually, HyDrA lost all those 21 Lings. He now is defenseless, and he only got 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion for his efforts. So now with the 5 additional Hellions out on the field, PbNoRe can go mount a counterattack, and he will be successful in harassing the third base of HyDrA, which is just about to go down.
Definitely. Yeah, so that was a tough call for HyDrA to make. From like, do I attack up the ramp, try and do damage and get in? Actually, we did see that the Zerglings were able to go past the Hellions on the ramp there, so...
yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But still, I think a better option would have been to just withdraw entirely, wait for PbNoRe to move out on the map with the Hellions, and then try to go in.
Right.
Or maybe save those links for later, at around the 11-minute mark when the Terran players try to take their third base, and you can delay that with a bunch of links.
Saw some great map awareness from HyDrA, pulling back the Ling that was at the watchtower as soon as it saw the Hellions coming. Well, the Hellions are now at the third base, but they're going to take a while before it can actually take down this hatchery. And there are some Zerglings coming up, but
He's going to have to wait for those 12 additional links to be built before he can even think about engaging those Hellions. The creep has not extended too far out as well. PbNoRe realizing a little bit too late that there is a visible creep tumor there. Could have taken that out, but unfortunately reacted too slowly. But he's in a good spot, mind you. I mean, he's got his 1-1 upgrades taken away.
oh, the Lings around the Hellions.
Oh man, that's actually huge, because suddenly the map control swings from PbNoRe's side onto the HyDrA's side of things. And without having the map control, you don't want these Hellions to die, ever. You need the map control, and you need to keep the creep in check. Right now, without these Hellions, there is no way PbNoRe can move out on the map. There is no way he can prevent creep spread from HyDrA, and creep spread is essential in making your defenses very, very easy, or at least easier than it would have been without the creep.
Alright, so we see combat shields coming up now with +1 as well. I think they'll finish around the same time. And then the Marines have combat shield and +1 and stim. So you think that PbNoRe might try a little attack to put some pressure on HyDrA?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the timing he's looking for. He already has the stim, so he can start moving out on the map. Baneling Nest coming down for HyDrA, however, that should... Well, actually, the Baneling Nest is a little bit later than it should have been. 1-1 is finished, a lair is done, Spire is coming down, but the Baneling Nest is, considering the situation, it's a little bit later.
That's some SCVs, but that are... Oh, actually he's pulling back. That might have been a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But I thought maybe they were gonna, I don't know, throw down some bunkers or something? Or maybe act as a shield.
Not likely. I mean, he could have tried, but not likely.
Oh, here we go. Marines on creep, being surrounded by a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings, and even without Banelings, HyDrA is making this work somehow. PbNoRe likely is going to try to drop on the top of this cliff at the third base with these remaining forces right now. And here's what I've been talking about. 11-minute mark is the time when the Terran players try to land their third base. And HyDrA was thinking about delaying the third base from landing, but he's pulling back those links to defend that drop harass here. He does not want to lose the Queen or the drones. And I have to say that he hasn't lost that many so far. Only 3 drones.
I think HyDrA could have actually advanced and denied the third base from PbNoRe instead of coming all the way back and defending against this drop. But of course, maybe he wasn't quite aware as to how many Marines were in these 2 medevac's. Of course, if he had known there was only 5 Marines, then maybe he would not have withdrawn his army completely.
Yeah, that's true. So for the time being, the drops have been chewed away. The Terran is on 3 bases now, happily mining away, 64 SCVs to 62 drones. We have the first Mutalisks coming onto the field for HyDrA right now. The game is a little bit slower than what we saw in game number 1 on Daedalus Point, and is a little bit more standard as well. And now with the reactors down, the third base landed, PbNoRe will try to go into macro overdrive and just flood the map with Marines and mines and medevacs. And I don't know how well HyDrA can hold up versus this. I mean, he's only just now producing his first set of Banelings, and he only has 7 of those. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, that was... Oh, he gets the full medevac. That was unlucky.
Poor PbNoRe. He's keeping up his supply surprisingly well, by the way, but he does keep losing much of his army.
Yeah, he does. And But all the while, he's keeping Mutalisks out of his base. Let's see if he took advantage of that by building missile turret rings around his territory. No, it doesn't seem like that. I mean, he's got one missile turret at his third base, but those Mutalisks can actually fly into the main base and start taking some production down, and that will not be good for the turn.
Production right in the front of third base. So once these finish, it's going to be rolling in and dishing out the damage.
Yeah, the Widow Mines are not in the best of positions neither. Oh, they took out all the Baitings, however, as HyDrA did get baited there. But a flank from the other side. If you can get the Marines and the SCVs, the Widow Mines are triggered. They're on cooldown. Whoa. Oh my goodness! That was the worst. Oh! Whoa! That was the worst position ever for PbNoRe to get into. Suddenly, his supply plummeted. 50 supply down. A lot of SCVs died there. If we take a look at the counter, 23 SCVs have been killed. Army supply is comparable.
And he lost the command center at the third base because
that's the biggest deal right there.
Definitely.
Look at this, HyDrA realizing that he's got the upper hand, plops down the infestation pit, just amasses more Mutalisks, and will try to go into 3-3 upgrades, which you don't see a lot of Zerg players do.
Yeah, but of course PbNoRe has already started his 3-3, so PbNoRe is definitely keeping up in the upgrade department.
I mean, there are two things you can do as a Zerg player. You can rush for Ultralisks at this stage of the game, because your opponent does not have a single Marauder out. So all you have to do is get 3 or 4 Ultras and engage on creep, and then you just kill that army, just like that. Or you can try to go for a longer game, and you can queue up your 3-3 upgrades once the hive finishes. We'll have to see which option the HyDrA takes. I wouldn't be surprised to see those 3-3 upgrades, considering that he's got the advantage right now in terms of economy.
And he was actually able to take out a lot of Widow Mines with his Mutalisks as the Widow Mines moved onto creep. So this is not good news for PbNoRe. He's forced to retreat, actually.
Oh, he gets 4 medevacs! 6! Will he get the 6th medevac? No, he engages the ground army, but those mutas finish that medevac off, and now, look at the medevac count, it's 0. And PbNoRe, he's at 12 Marines right now. He is producing 9 Marines at a time. He's getting a Thor as well, but without those medevacs, that army will not have the survivability PbNoRe needs.
No, PbNoRe, HyDrA still has to watch out for burrow Widow Mines. We know what Widow Mines can do to clumps of Mutalisks, but so far it's really looking good for HyDrA.
Yeah, it is, and he takes out yet more SCVs with these Baiting explosions. That Thor is going to be magic boxed and taken down by the Mutalisks, as there are not that many Marines remaining. Widow Mine's burrowing, but HyDrA splits his forces up. There's the G from PbNoRe, and HyDrA takes the series 2-0, advancing into the decider match of today.